Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Buriak, and I'm the Senior Vice President over here at Jet Lending. You guys may or may not notice that we try to do about daily education for the investment community. And why do we do that? Well, we feel that if an investor makes better decisions, they buy more properties. You guys buy more properties, you use Jet Lending, we make more money. You buy more properties, you make more money, especially with a good team behind you showing you how to build your wealth. You make a lot more money. So we like to make these educational videos available for you. Of course, you can see them on any social media outlet you're watching live. If you are watching live, feel free to go in the comments section and ask me questions about what we're talking about, or let me know what kind of videos you guys want me to make, and we'll make them for you. Okay, so I'm going to put the website in the comments. It's in the title as well, so you can click that. Go to our website, check out all of our educational videos that we make if you've missed one in the past. But let's get started on today's topic. And what today's topic is going to go over is what to ask when you are making an offer on a property. As you guys may have watched some past videos of mine, I harp on purchase price. And I'll say it 1,000 times that purchase price is one of the only variables that you can control, somewhat control. Okay, it depends on the market that you're in and things like that. But it's the only thing that you can change, because you can't change what the property is going to be worth after you fix it up. The market changes that. Look a few years ago during COVID. Look at today. It's June 3rd of 24. In case somebody's watching this a year later, the market's different than it was. I mean, how we did over a few years, a 41% increase in value in Houston alone. So that's not normal, but it happened. So the market determines value. Repairs, cost of materials and cost of labor is what's going to dictate your finishes for your repairs and what you pick to finish. So you really can't control that, okay? But you can control purchase price. And what I've noticed, whether you are new or seasoned, whether you own a franchise that buys properties, or if you're just out there doing it yourself, whether you're a flipper, landlord, or wholesaler, making an offer, especially the initial stages of the negotiation, are the hardest thing for people to really wrap their head around. And one of the things I'm going to implore to you on this educational training on this is the first thing you have to do is that you got to be a question asker. You got to be a problem solver. Remember, you guys are buying properties in the distressed market. The distressed market is about anywhere from 2 to 5% of the overall real estate market. So you're not negotiating with the conventional seller. Okay, you are negotiating with the distressed seller. Remember, these people are either inherited properties, the property is just banged up to beyond belief. They need to do a quick move. They're getting a divorce. Something's happening. Okay, that's causing this sell. Remember, even in the conventional market, nobody wants to sell real estate. You have to sell real estate. There is an event that's happening. What your job is to do is find out what that event is and then solve for X. Okay, if you are going to be an investor that makes offers and purchases solely on the amount offering, you're going to have a hard time contracting properties. Let me tell you why. Okay, you have to first find out, what the problem is. Okay, first, that's the key. All right, why are they selling it? That's your first key of information. If you have no idea why they're selling it, the real reason why they're selling it, you're going to have a hard time negotiating. Okay, so first is you have to find out what the problem is. The second thing is, a lot of times our investors will say, well, I'm getting outbid. I'm not getting my looks. I'm not getting taken seriously or stuff like that. Here's something else you have to consider. You have to consider that anytime you're talking to somebody negotiating, you're going to leave with a contract signed. That means you have to have the contract with you. All these things like getting ready to fill it and have a contract ready to go. You maybe have a pre-approval letter from Jet Lending that says you can buy the property, so you have validity in the negotiation. But one of the things that you have to do is also ask your seller, has anybody else been to the property? Are you expecting any other offers? And this is why. It's not really to counter other investors. It's how to educate your seller. Remember, you're going to build a relationship with this person. People do business with people they like. Okay. So your biggest, not your biggest, but some of your competitors out there, like Open Door and Invested Homes and all these other people that they'll go on these websites and they'll sign up to make an offer to buy their house. Remember, this is the distressed market. So they've probably reached out to all these other institutional buyers before you got a hold of it. And even if you did get a hold of it, they still may have reached out and that like, well, OfferPad has offered me X. Well, your job is then to now educate them on that process. Okay, so if you don't know what that process, here's a little idea of what that process is. It's not a bad process. I mean, I'm not, you want to sell your house to them, neat, whatever, but you have to understand what the terms are. Okay, one, say, what I'm here to offer you is I want to make sure I solve your problem, get you the best return on what you're trying to do. One thing you should consider is when you're dealing with an institutional buyer, one, please read the terms. And have they made an offer to you yet? The answer is no. Say, is it because they haven't been to the house yet? Or are you waiting for the offer to come in? It goes either direction. So let's say you go with option A. Well, they haven't been to the house yet. Say, okay, let me guide you down this path. And I'm going to tell you option B too, so because it's the same path. Or B, they have been to the property yet. Great. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Whether they've been to the property or haven't been to the property, they're going to make you an offer. Okay. That offer is going to be contingent to an inspection. That inspection is then going to go through your house and say, well, I'm going to offer you $217 for your property. When you read the print, it reads that we can change this offer in accordance to the repair number if it changes from our initial quote. So they may quote you, oh, this is going to be $42,000 in repairs. Well, then they send an inspector in. And if you guys haven't had a house inspection yet, inspectors are great of telling you either A, if something's broken, B, if it could be an issue, or C, if it's fine. Okay. So these orange circles are everywhere, dots are everywhere. And they say, listen, here's your water heater. It looks like it's about 4 years old. There's some corrosion over X. It should be, reviewed to see if there's any issue, because they're just analyzing, the possibilities of things. They didn't test it. They just seen, hey, this could be an issue. It doesn't seem like it is an issue, but you should be aware of it. So the inspection report comes in, and what they'll do is they'll change the repair amount, which changes the initial offer. So usually your first offer is not what you're going to end up with. And that's okay if you are okay with that second offer and you don't want to deal with anybody and stuff like that. I mean, great. Okay. But you need to be aware that most likely this is not what you're going to end up with. Okay. What I'm giving you today is I'm actually telling you what it's going to be, telling you how much I'm going to work on repairs. This is why I need to buy it at. And this is when we're closing, all these things, and nothing's going to change. Okay. I've been to your property. Okay. Say I wouldn't accept any offer unless somebody's been to my property with their team to make sure the repairs are done. So that's your argument number one. Argument number two. If you get your house inspected and somebody hands you that inspection report and you don't close with that buyer, you are now obligated to share that inspection report with all your other potential buyers. So if you ever get information about a house that you're selling, whether it be an inspection report or anything like that, you are now obligated to put on your seller's disclosure that you are now aware of X. Okay. Are you prepared to do that if the offer comes in too low? I am not doing an inspection. I understand I'm buying a distressed property. I understand I have to fix these things, and that's why we're buying it at this price. So that's one thing you should definitely consider when you're negotiating, is find out if anyone's been to the property and explain the process. A lot of times for everybody else that's not an investor, you may buy one or two houses in your lifetime, and they don't understand the process of the conventional purchase. Somebody that's offering education to them that lets them know what's going to happen and why it's going to happen. They make them feel comfortable with the process. You'd be surprised how low you can buy properties once you A, solve the problem, and B, make them feel like they're being taken care of. Make them feel that their problem's being solved. And really do that. Really be genuine about it. Okay. If you're just there to talk to people and just tell them nonsense, don't do that. Just really negotiate with people. Tell them why you need to be there. Tell them how you're going to solve their problem and why you need to be where you're at. Okay. And you will close more properties with that level of insight to make sure that that you're doing good work and you're really taking care of people. A lot of people's like, okay, well, investments is just about money. It's really solving problems. That's every business. If you can solve problems, you are in business. And the distressed market, you're solving a problem for them. They need capital, they need cash, they need money for this property that they can no longer maintain. Okay, so you are solving the problem. Next thing that you can do is, let's say that if they're getting offers from investors or institutional buyers, how long is the option period? And this is what a lot of times people will do. Say, I have to tell you this. And sometimes people, what they'll do is they'll contract your property and then you're trying to sell it. It's called wholesaling. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. As long as you know about it, nothing wrong with it. As long as you get the money that you're asking for, great. All right, solving your problem. And this is how you talk to them. But you need to know that if somebody has like a 20-day, 30-day option period, and they've been to your house and they've inspected your house on their repairs, something's amiss. Okay. So just straight ask them, listen, are you wholesaling my house? I don't care that you are, but if you are, let me know. Okay. Because I'm going to make your option period, cost more. I'm going to make sure you have some skin in the game to sell my house, or I'm going to, have an issue selling my property. So that's another reason why you can work with me, because, I've already been here. Maybe you don't do an option period. If you've been to the house with your inspector and you're like, well, I want my lender to look at it too. It's a Friday. Can you give me a 3-day option or a 5-day option for $100 or whatever? Okay. But again, you have to explain things why. Full disclosure really, really helps people understand why things are happening, because the initial human response is that they're being taken for a ride, because everybody tells them, oh, well, you got to be shrewd and you got to be this, you got to be that. The more people are like, listen, this is why we're doing this. This is who we're doing. This is the guy's name I'm calling about this. Here's his number. You can call him too. You can talk to him all you want. I'm here to solve your problems. And you're really genuine about it. You're going to contract more properties. A couple things you should ask for when you're negotiating. Say, do you have a seller's disclosure? I mean, they may not have an agent. They don't know what you're talking about. Say, listen, okay, you don't have one? Tell me this. Has the house ever flooded? Have you ever had to file an insurance claim on the roof? Is there anything that had been really big fixed in the past that I need to know about? They may tell you the truth, they may not. And that's up to you to even kind of go up there, look in the attic, look underneath the roof, look underneath the house if there's a crawl space. I'm going to be doing a lot of things just to see what I need to fix. Okay. So those are some key questions you should ask when you're making an offer on real estate. One, it gives you all the information that you need to make a decision. Okay. Two, the question and dialogue that you have with the person. Again, this is a human experience. Okay. This is business. That means you're forming a relationship with somebody. The more that you form relationships with your sellers and your buyers and your lenders and your contractors, the easier this becomes. Okay. The way that your tone of voice is, your concern, writing notes, showing them what you're doing. It forms a bond, and people are more likely to do business with people that do that. That's why Jet Lending's been almost in business for 21 years. That's why we have so many closings. That's why we have so much business, because we do things that other people don't. We analyze, we walk you through, we solve your problems as an investor, not just give you money and say, good luck. We actually want you to succeed. And that's why we do these educational videos. So those are some questions you should ask when you're making an offer on the property. So you can really, really dig in to figure out the why, to figure out why are you selling? Why are you doing this? Why? What do you need? It was, I told you this in another education video. I'll tell you it again because it's a cool story. I told you the client of mine, they won the bid. They offered X amount of dollars. The seller liked it. They said, yeah, I mean, totally cool with it. And they slid over the contract and the seller wouldn't sign. And my borrower was confused. Like, the terms that you want, the date of closing that you want, the amount of money you want, what's the deal? And the seller said, if I sign this, I don't have anybody to help me move. Now, this person was going to lose this house anyway. This person was going to have nobody to help them move anyway. And this person wasn't going to take the money because of an irrational thought. Remember, not everything is logic to people. A lot of it in business, for them, it's not business. It's an emotional issue. This is an emotional time for them. And my borrower said, wait a minute. So if I get somebody out here to help you move to your new place, you'll sign the contract? And they're like, oh yeah, that would be a great help. They didn't find the problem. Hell, they probably could have bought it for lower. But they got a moving company out there, moved their stuff. They're like, neat, I got it. They got it out in time. We closed on time. But that's the kind of power in negotiation and problem solving. I'm telling you that you guys can buy more properties. Is if you don't know what really the issue is, you are going to have a hard time in negotiation. If you think it's just bottom line dollars and cents, you are not negotiating with a hedge fund or a REIT. You're dealing with somebody that most likely lives there or it was grandma's house and they inherited. There's some sort of emotional context to this property, or they may be no emotional context. They hate this place and they just want to get out of this. It's like, whoa, what your problem is? Your problem is timing. I put money in your pocket in 7 days. This other group is telling you they're going to close next month if they do. So again, as long as you spend time finding out the issues of not just the property, but the person that owns the property. Okay, I'm not telling you to ignore the repair. And this is not what this education is about. This is about negotiation and people. It is important that you spend time with the person that's selling the house and their emotional response to selling the house. Because if you can figure that out and you can figure out the problem, you will buy more properties and you will spend less money. Okay, so I hope this helped. Again, if you catch this video late and not live, you can still comment on any of these and say, listen, I like it. Hey, I don't like it. Hey, I want you to do a video on this. You can go to our website and chat us online. You can text us. You can call us. You can send a carrier pigeon if you have them. Just tell them where to go. Whatever you need to do to get the information you need to become successful, because the money, me deploying you money is never the issue. It's getting the property and doing a good job and trying to make the team that you have successful. Okay. So I hope this helped. And I hope you guys have a great day and we'll talk to you later.